Danica DeGiorgio and Joel Philp join me live now, and Labor's star candidate for the New South Wales seat of Parramatta has admitted he doesn't actually live in the property he's put as the primary address for the upcoming election. Danica DeGiorgio, what does he have to say about this?
Laura, Andrew Charlton is currently registered to vote in Wentworth, not here in Parramatta, where he is running as a candidate for May 21st. He was living in Bellevue Hill, which is a property in the eastern suburbs, up until early this year. Mid last year rather, he then moved into another property in nearby Woollahra. Now, since then, he hasn't changed his electoral address, despite moving out of that Woollahra property earlier this year when the property became rented. The reason why this is so significant is it could potentially be in breach of Australian Electoral Commission laws, as it's not his primary residence. I asked him about it a short time ago.
I lived at the Woollahra property until 2021.
Okay. Is it currently rented?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's currently rented.
Okay. So how can that be your primary address then? How can that be on the Australian Electoral Commission enrolment when someone's renting that property?
Well, we started renting it earlier this year, and it was an oversight not to update it. When that oversight was brought to my attention, I updated it with the AEC. I've taken full responsibility and I've apologised.
Okay. Is that in breach, though, of electoral rules?
Well, as I said, it was an oversight.
Now, his wife and children are currently still living at the $16 million mansion in Bellevue Hill, but now questions are being raised about his wife's status and whether she's actually registered to vote here in Parramatta but still living in Wentworth. I asked him about it. Where is your wife enrolled to vote?
She is enrolled to vote in Bellevue Hill.
Okay, so she's not enrolled to vote in Parramatta?
Look, my wife's a private citizen, and I'm sure you'll appreciate that she's not on the ballot. So she's a person who is not up for election. I'm up for election. Very happy to answer questions about myself, but I might leave my wife out of it if that's okay.
Okay. But just for the sake of transparency, though, is your wife enrolled to vote in Parramatta but she's living in Bellevue Hill? Doesn't that also make that an oversight? So, Laura, it's now up to the Liberal Party as to whether they want to lodge a complaint with the Australian Electoral Commission about the Labor candidate's status. But candidates, where they live, it's certainly been a focal point in a number of marginal seats this election, amid claims that these candidates are simply being parachuted to run to increase the chance of winning.